The last autumn of the LLM program at Yale School of Law has a strange way of sneaking into your heart. It wraps itself around the columns of sterling law building, around the Gothic arches, around the anxious hearts of students who know their time here is slipping away. For Aidan Clark and Maya Reynolds, it arrived quietly through late-night research sessions, whispered debates in seminar rooms, and the lingering feeling that something powerful was growing between them, something that even law couldn't define. Aidan was the kind of student who made professors pause. Brilliant in a quiet, non-performing way, carrying a natural calmness that made people trust him instantly. He had come to Yale from Oregon, leaving behind a small-town life and a promise to his late father that he would use law to make the world better, whatever that meant. Maya, on the other hand, was all sharp edges and soft heart. She was from Boston, the daughter of a civil rights attorney and a history professor, raised in a house where justice was a dinner-table conversation. She spoke like she was born with confidence in her bloodstream, fast, articulate, unstoppable. Yet, beneath that brilliance was a loneliness she never admitted. Yale had given her purpose, but it hadn't given her someone who understood the storm inside her. Until Aidan. They met the way many Yale LLM students meet, by mistake. It was the second week of September when Maya slipped into the wrong seminar room. She was supposed to be in ethics of human rights litigation. Instead, she pushed open the door to comparative constitutional systems. She didn't realize the mistake until she saw Aidan sitting at the end of the long seminar table, flipping through his notes with the quiet focus she found distracting. She sat next to him before she realized she didn't belong there. He looked up, smiling gently. "Are you in Professor Kessel's class too?" he whispered. Maya blinked, confused, then looked at the syllabus on the screen. "Oh my God," she whispered back. "No, I'm absolutely not. I'm in the wrong room." Aidan bit back a laugh. "Happens to everyone. Want me to help you sneak out during the discussion break?" She grinned in a way that warmed her cheeks. "That would save my academic dignity." When the 5-minute break came, he nodded toward the door like they had planned a heist together. As she slipped out, she leaned toward him and murmured, "You're a lifesaver." Aidan felt the warmth of her voice linger long after she left. The next week, they ran into each other again, this time on purpose. Maya was studying in the law library's quiet reading room, outlines and highlighters scattered around her like she was building a legal fortress. She noticed him first. Aidan walked in, scanning for a seat, when his eyes landed on her. He smiled. She returned it. He walked over. "Still staying in the right classrooms, I hope." She laughed softly. "I triple-check now. Trauma is real. Mind if I join you?" She didn't. He sat across from her, and for 2 hours, they said almost nothing. But every now and then, he'd glance up, and she'd look away, pretending she didn't notice. And sometimes she'd study the way he furrowed his brow when he read dense case law, or the way he tapped his pen lightly on the table, a rhythm that calmed her. By evening, when they finally packed up, Aidan said, "Want to grab coffee?" The words sounded casual, but the electricity between them made it unmistakably something more. Maya said yes before she even processed the question. Their friendship did not grow slowly, it ignited. Late-night study sessions became their norm. They sat side by side in seminar rooms after everyone else left, papers strewn across the table, debating issues of constitutional law with a passion that occasionally made professors join in if they walked by. Sometimes Maya would rattle off arguments like a firecracker, intense and brilliant, and Aidan would just watch her, mesmerized. You have a way of making the Constitution sound poetic, he told her once. She smirked. It is poetic. You just need better imagination. Other times Aiden spoke, quiet yet firm, and Maya would listen like his words carried a weight she didn't want to lose. He fascinated her. Not because he was brilliant. Yale was full of brilliant people, but because he was good. Truly good. He wanted law to help people, not build a resume. In a school full of ambition, his sincerity felt like fresh air. Through October, their connection deepened. They walked through the fall leaves that carpeted old campus, attended moot court practices together, and slowly, they became inseparable. But they never talked about what they were. Not yet. It was a cold November evening when the turning point came. They were working on their final papers in a quiet corner of the library. Outside, snow dusted the campus, making the stained glass windows glow softly. Maya was exhausted. Why did I pick a 40-page comparative analysis paper? She groaned. I was not thinking clearly. Aiden glanced at her. You never pick the easy route. She sighed dramatically. I would, if someone forbade me from self-torture. He smiled. I'll take responsibility for that next semester. She froze. Next semester. Something in her chest tightened. There was no next semester for the LLM students. June was the end. Yale was temporary. They were temporary. Unless they decided they weren't. Maya looked at him carefully. Aiden seemed to realize what he implied. His eyes softened. I mean, he started, but stopped. I guess I didn't think before I said that. She slid her laptop aside, heart pounding. What did you mean, Aiden? He hesitated, looking down at the table. I don't want this, us, to disappear when the program ends. Maya's throat tightened. Aiden. He finally met her eyes. I like you, Maya, he said quietly. More than I've liked anyone in a long time. Silence fell between them. Heavy. Warm, terrifying. She exhaled softly. I like you too, she whispered. Aiden's shoulders relaxed, as if he'd been carrying the weight of Yale's stone arches on his back. Then what are we so afraid of? He asked gently. Her voice trembled. Because everything ends in June. We go back to our lives. Our careers. Our plans. We can make new plans, he said. She laughed softly, sadly. You make it sound easy. It's not easy, he replied. But good things rarely are. Their hands were inches apart on the table. Slowly, he reached across the gap. Maya didn't pull away. His fingers brushed hers. Tentative. Gentle. Real. And in that quiet library corner, with snow falling softly outside, their hands intertwined for the first time. After that, there was no going back. Their relationship blossomed quickly. Too quickly, Maya sometimes feared. They spent evenings cooking in Aiden's small apartment on House Street, where he introduced her to Oregon-style chili and she taught him how Boston cream pie was supposed to taste. They walked along the New Haven Green at midnight, sharing stories of childhood dreams and future plans. Aiden confessed he wanted to work in public interest law abroad. Maya admitted she wanted to join a major civil rights organization and eventually teach. They spent hours in Atticus Bookstore Cafe, reading side by side, sometimes forgetting the world around them existed. And every moment felt like Yale itself was rooting for them, the stone archways echoing their laughter, the chapel bells ringing exactly when they held hands, the autumn trees turning gold as if to frame their budding love. But winter brought more than snow. It brought decisions. February arrived with career pressures. Fellowships. Interviews. Offers. Their future together or apart loomed over every conversation. One night, after a long day of interviews, Maya found Aiden sitting on the steps outside the law building, staring into the distance. She sat next to him. "Bad day," he sighed. "I got the International Justice Fellowship." Her heart skipped. "Aiden, that's incredible. It's in The Hague." His voice was hollow. 1,000 miles away." Her smile faded. "That's amazing," she said quietly. He swallowed. "What about you, any updates?" She hesitated. "I got an offer too. From the Civil Rights Council. In D.C. 2 futures. 2 continents. Both dreams they had worked for. Both impossible to give up." The silence that followed was thick and painful. "Maya," Aiden whispered, "I don't want to lose you." She blinked back, the burn in her eyes. "We knew this might happen. But knowing and living it are 2 different things." She took his hand. "Maybe love isn't enough." He shook his head. "Maybe we're not giving it enough credit." Their fingers trembled in each other's grip. "How do we make this work?" she whispered. He looked at her with a tenderness that made her chest ache. "One day at a time." But fear sat between them, heavier than any textbook. March passed, blurred with mixed emotions. Their love grew deeper, even as uncertainty shadowed every kiss. Final season arrived like a storm. They studied together night after night, pushing through stress and fear, clinging to whatever time they had left. Then came graduation day. Yale's courtyard was filled with proud families, black gowns flowing, and hopeful laughter rising into the summer air. Maya stood with her parents as Aiden walked over, his gown slightly crooked in the wind, his smile soft. "You look incredible," he said. "So do you," she whispered. Their families met for the first time. Polite smiles. Curious questions. 2 worlds blending awkwardly but sweetly. After the ceremony, Maya and Aiden slipped away from the crowds and went to their favorite spot under the old elm tree behind the law building. She leaned against him. "We made it." "We did," he said, holding her hand tightly. "But now." He turned to face her fully. "Now comes the hard part." Tears glimmered in her eyes. "Aiden, I don't want to say goodbye." "You won't have to." His voice was steady. "Long distance isn't the end. It's just another challenge." She shook her head. "It's thousands of miles." "It's a few hours by plane," he corrected gently. "It's phone calls, messages, visits. It's trusting that what we have is worth fighting for." Her heart tightened. "And is it?" He cupped her face softly. "I love you, Maya." Her breath caught. "I've known it for months," he continued. "And no fellowship, no distance, no timeline can change that." A tear slipped down her cheek. "I love you too." He wiped it gently with his thumb. "Then that's enough. For now. For tomorrow. For however long it takes." She leaned her forehead against his. "Promise. Promise." They kissed under the summer leaves, the campus quiet around them, as if Yale itself held its breath. In that moment, they carved their love into the stones and arches of the place that brought them together. They left New Haven with different flights, different cities, different futures but the same promise. And though oceans stretched between them, every message, every late-night call, every shared memory kept them bound. 1 year later, Maya stood outside Dulles Airport in Washington, D.C., heart racing. Her phone buzzed. Just landed. Aiden. Her smile broke wide. When he finally appeared, suitcase in hand, she ran to him. He lifted her up, spinning her in his arms, laughing with the joy of someone who had waited far too long. "You're here," she whispered into his shoulder. "I told you," he murmured back. "I'm not going anywhere." And as they drove into the bright DC morning, hands intertwined, they knew the truth: Yale had not been just a chapter. It had been the beginning.